What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy back again. This is Sean Spencer, one of the hosts of Let's Talk Football Breaking News. But you see, I'm never, ever by myself. I have my legal assistants with me. If you get in a bind, she'll stop you from doing time. My girl, Miss Tina Winter. What up, Tina?
Caveat, no, I can't, guys. No, I can't.
Oh, well, yeah. Retract that. Yeah.
I'm doing good. Don't anyone think I'm giving free legal advice.
And you see, we got a special guest today. My guy, all the way from the Windy City, Mr. Nick. I want the smoke, Rosario. What up, Nick?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you guys for having me. It's always good to be had. And yeah, this ought to be fun. I haven't seen you guys in a while, so this is good. I get to see faces. This is good.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Oh, yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah.
But look, you know what we do. We are talking about the breaking news, the breaking news that's going on. And I'm going to send it right to you, Tina, first. NFL Sunday Ticket. There's a lawsuit. What's going on?
This lawsuit's been around for a long, long time. It actually started back in 2017, and it was dismissed by the U.S. District Court, which, for those of you that don't know the various courts, that's the court that you normally go to. It's the beginning court. What it was a lawsuit that was brought by the Mucky Duck Bar in San Francisco. And then what they did is they claimed that the NFL was breaking antitrust laws by selling the games on NFL Sunday Ticket for all of the out-of-market games for everybody at an inflated price. And they also claimed that the league was restricting the use and games because they were only offering it on a satellite provider. Wasn't being offered at something that everybody had access to. So like I said, it got dismissed at first because they said there was no problem. It's not a big deal. But that dismissal, the plaintiffs appealed it, and it got overturned, and it was set up as a what we call a class action lawsuit. And for those of you that don't know, class action lawsuits are suits where you claim that there's a group of people that have been injured by this. So you have a large group that comes together. And so at the time, so this is covering the period from 2011 to 2023. So it's been going forward. It actually started hearing arguments in it back in the court case started on June 6th of this year. Not a lot's been said. They're not really talking about what's been said in the case or anything, which to me is a little kind of interesting because usually this kind of stuff is all over the papers. They want to talk about what everybody's doing, but it's not really getting covered that much. It's mostly like, this is what's going on and this is what we think will happen. Closing arguments start this week. So we could have a decision very quickly. We could not. Here's the salient parts of it. This is why I wanted to bring it up, and we can kind of talk about this. So it's been brought out that Fox and CBS had a memo that went back and forth between them and the NFL in which they said they wanted the NFL to keep the inflated price at over $294 for the season because the more people that bought the NFL Sunday Ticket, the less people that were going to watch it on the local stations. Because as the way it is, as everybody knows, when you buy NFL Sunday Ticket, you buy every game in the season. You just don't get just your games. You get every game. So if you're already paying $300 for it, why would you want to watch it on CBS if it's there? You're going to watch it on your provider. And that happened. And then in 2022, when they were negotiating to taking it off. And ESPN offered them a deal that would be $70 a season for the whole thing. And they also had packages that you could taper it just to your particular team. NFL turned it down. They said no. So, since everybody likes to hear about this stuff, So they did do some questioning. They did bring some people up that got deposed and were having to give testimony. One is Roger Goodell, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is our lovely, friendly, I like to talk down from Mr. Dallas, Jerry Jones, who the media committee when all of this was going on. So this is interesting because, I mean, they're showing like there was some collusion going on here, and they were trying to get, and for those of you that don't know what antitrust laws mean, it can be everything from collusion. You're trying to keep the market down or you're trying to keep the market high. So it keeps competitors out from competing with you. So when you're doing that, now, also want to let this be known, NFL does have an antitrust exemption written into their rules. So they don't have to necessarily follow they can break the antitrust rules. But the point of the people is saying is that, okay, fine, you have that exemption, but that was for public broadcasting. That's for CBS, NBC, ABC. That has nothing to do with cable. Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be worth a lot. If they lose, they're estimating might be around $7 billion in damages. Wow. And also with antitrust, if there is a jury, it could be treble damages, which that's a term for 3 times the damages. So it could go up to $21 million. Now, what's the benefit? What's going to happen from this? A couple of things. One, they could be required to lower the price.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other thing is that they're saying is that people would get money back that they owed. But again, they're talking like it's close to like 5 million people that have had the subscribership for this. So we'll see what happens. So that's where we're at. Hopefully next week this week they'll have closing arguments. They might have a quick decision. They might not. And also please also note it's going to get appealed. The NFL is going to appeal this up.
Sure.
And it probably could even get appealed up to the Supreme Court because it's a definition of what their antitrust exemption means. So
it's all money grab, Nick. I mean, what do you think? Because everything seems to be going to, was it Hulu, Live Sports, YouTube TV, all the different streaming platforms. Obviously, Thursday night is Amazon, or Amazon Prime Video, whatever. What do you mean? What are your thoughts about this, man?
Well, I mean, one. Gone are the days, and this is how you know we live in a different era, right? When I was a young man, I had to worry about none of this. Yeah. I saw my games every Sunday on CBS. My Monday nights were on ABC, and my Sunday night when they started the Sunday night games, they were just on NBC. You didn't have to worry about anything, right? Mm-hmm. They just played football, and you could just watch on your TV. Fine. I got to do this. I got to do that. Now I got to stream and pay for this, and I got to pay for that. And what in the world is wrong with people? Why in the world does everything have to cost you something? Yeah. Like, football is a simple pleasure for most men and women who enjoy it. And why do we always have to deal with this crap? All we want to do is sit there for 3 hours on a Sunday and watch some football and escape for those 3 hours. Now I've got to find out every freaking streaming thing that they're going to show a game on so I can try and get it. Or I got to look at this and go, oh, look, I could sign up for YouTube TV and I'll only have to pay $200 for the Sunday ticket. Woo! Yay. Smack me in the behind and call me Shirley. How happy am I, right? Like, come on. For me, man, I don't buy into any of this stuff. I know it's a money grab. Go ahead and fight it out, all you big billionaire companies. At this point, I don't really care. Like, I will do what I can to watch Bears games. Again, like you said, my local team. So whatever I can do to watch that is what I'm going to do. If I can't get other games, then I won't. I'll watch highlights. I'll watch ESPN. I'll watch what I already have to try to get all the information and news that I need for football season. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to pay some exorbitant amount of money just so I can get every game that I'm not going to be able to watch anyways.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, again, I understand why people get it. I know there's fanatical football fans. I know they love it. They love to get that. You know, they got 2, 3 TVs in their basement watching different games. I get it, and I'm happy for you guys. If you can afford it, more power to you. And I guess in some way I could afford it too, but I'm not paying it. I'm just not going to spend my $300 that way. I'm sorry.
Right.
So, I mean, for me, you know, whatever happens in court, it happens. Like Tina said, NFL loses, they're going to appeal. They're not going to take that. They're not just going to go, oh, okay, sure, we lost. No problem. No. So this is going to probably go on for a while anyways. And my football season starts in, 2 months? So I'm going to do what I can, hopefully watch my Bears win more than 7 games this year, and we'll all go from there and be happy. So that's what I got to say.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, what I'm going to say to that is, Nick, yes, you have the benefit of being in your local network. As someone like me who lives in a different city than the team I play for, it's a very different thing. And that's the thing.
True.
More and more people in the NFL are like that. 20, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when these damn broadcast rules were put in place where they would block out. So, like, for instance, this is just my personal, this is weird. And I don't pay for the NFL Sunday ticket, but I see where people get upset with this. I'm in Chicago. Right. So for those of you that are AFL fans, you know CBS is the AFC television station.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, it's the channel. I watch it on CBS. Well, if the Bears are in town and playing someone on Fox News, my CBS gets blacked out. Because they black out the local channel there.
Yeah, well, no, I've had that happen too.
Is the home of the Chicago Bears, so that's their home station. So instead of allowing CBS to show another game, they black it out because that's the way the rules are. And again, all of these rules, and even what they were showing, like with Fox and CBS, it's all designed keep it high so nothing will affect the local channels because they still have those broadcast news in place. So in a way, the NFL is stuck between a rock and a hard place on this one. They know, I have a feeling they knew this was going to happen down the line. They knew someone was going to raise an issue about it, but they couldn't do anything because they can't violate the broadcast contracts that they have with CBS and Fox News or Fox Sports. So, it's just, I'm with you. It's cash grab, total cash grab. They went for the cash. They were doing it. I don't know how you sit there and say, oh, yeah, we did violate the antitrust rules, but you know what? We were doing it so we didn't violate our other networks and broadcast contracts. Two wrongs don't make a right in the legal field. So it'll get dragged on, but at some point, the NFL is going to have to pay some money. So
Probably, but it'll still be just a drop in the bucket. Look, so let's go ahead and move on. Tina, you brought this up to me, and I've actually heard a lot of news about this. Brandon Ayuik, potential trade rumors. Apparently, he wants out of San Francisco, but is there any truth to this? Are they really going to potentially get rid of him?
I don't know that he wants out per se, but they're not negotiating with him. They're not doing anything. They're not giving him what he wants. So it's creating so it all started because he was on a social media thing with Jaden Daniels, your new quarterback. And he was talking about how he felt he wasn't wanted in San Francisco anymore. Because he keeps getting told, oh, we need to take care of this guy, or we need to take care of this guy, or we need to do this. And so he just kind of feels like he's not important. Now, from what I've been reading, the people that know the San Francisco 49ers, they don't want to lose him. They do want to keep him. It's just going to be a question of, is he going to sit out? Are they still going to, because he's good through the year.
Right.
It's just, do they franchise tag him next year? Because he'd be in his 5th year option, so they can franchise tag him. But if he goes to the market.
Well, Nick, is that the problem? I mean, I've heard a lot of stuff about him and T. Higgins both wanting an exorbitant amount of money. So,
T. Higgins, I think, signed
20.
No, I thought they tagged him actually.
Yeah, but I heard
T. Higgins
a huge contract. But what my point about both of them is both of them came out this offseason saying that they wanted big money.
We're unhappy.
We know Justin Jefferson got that big money.
Right.
Nick, your boy Keenan Allen got money. All these wide receivers are getting money. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to T. Higgins and when it comes to our Brandon Ayuk, both of these guys are, at least in their minds, the next guy up on that ladder.
Right.
Even though T got tagged, that's not what he wanted. He wanted a contract, but people weren't willing to meet him. And I think, and this is where I'm coming to you, Nick, is that where we're at here, where I've heard that San Francisco, if they're even going to entertain the idea, they want a first-round pick in return. So is he worth that? Is this in the works, or is this all a rumor?
See, this is where it gets a little hairy, because that was is my question. What do you get if you decide you want to trade him because he really wants out or he's disgruntled, whatever it is? Like Tina said, he's under contract. They don't have to do anything with him. Because if you sit out, you lose the money. That's on you. Like, they don't have to do anything right now with Brandon, and that's the thing. But if you decide you want to trade him, well, thank you, Nathan, for chiming in. If you decide to trade him, what do you ask for? Because first-round pick, Brandon is a good receiver, but who's the man on that offense? Christian McCaffrey. So you can say, well, okay, Brandon, maybe we'll try and get something good for you because we feel you have value. But is he really worth a first-round pick? And I want to say no, not because I don't think he has talent or doesn't have a ceiling. I just think right now he's not worth a number one. And I don't know too many teams who would probably give up. I mean, yes, you want a receiver, you need a receiver, fine. But I don't think you're willing right now, given the way the draft went and how all the teams were trying to set themselves up and how some of the teams improved and some just kind of stayed where they were. You're not going to give up a first-round pick for this guy unless you're convinced that he is going to come in and be your number one guy, because that's what he wants. Why do you want to bring in someone who's going to all of a sudden be commanding, first-team reps every time because he wants to be that top guy, and you've already got a guy in your camp who you think is your top guy? Now, all you're going to do is butt heads with each other, and that's not what you want. Again, Nathan is chiming in. They'll pay him. This issue is a huge elephant. Sure, you can't pay everyone. Exactly, Nate. San Francisco's pretty stacked, is he not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, their offense is very potent. It's got tons of playmakers on it. You got George Kittle. You got, and Debo is there as well. I mean, again.
I agree. I don't think San Francisco is going to trade him. But if it gets to the point where he becomes so disgruntled because he's been told again and again and again, hold it. We got to pay this guy. We got to pay this. We got to do this. We got to do that. He's going to get to the point where he's so disgruntled and they might cut him. And I will tell you, I'll take him in a second. I'd have my team give up that first round draft pick next year.
Okay.
You think they would do that though?
I think so.
Really? Okay, no, really?
A lot of people don't.
This guy had 75 plus catches, over 1,200 yards, almost 10 touchdowns. And the other thing, and I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Regular season. He also had 9 touchdowns and almost 400 yards in the postseason. And also remember, he came.
Why would you get rid of that production
for Debo? I don't think they will, but it may depend on him. He wants $30 million. They offered him 26. He said no. It could get to the point where, like we discussed this before, Sean, it could get to the point where the team sees him as a poison pill in the locker room because he's so disgruntled and because he feels like he's not getting, again, wide receivers are divas. They want to be the center of attention. As Nathan just said, it's about the guarantee.
I agree that there are divas, and most of them are. And if we're going to go T.O., I get it. Or Brandon Marshall, like your guy. I get those. Both of y'all have had the Brandon Marshall effect in
locker room. He put this out on a live social media feed.
To his buddy, because he was trying. Yes. So my thing is this. Nick, to your point about is he worth number one? You and I have had this debate. What is a number one wide receiver?
Right. Oh, many times, my friend.
So now
what the team thinks is a number one.
Well, half the teams.
That's what's important. That's what's important.
Well, that's the thing. Half the teams in the league don't value him as that. But think about the team that he was talking to. He was talking to a team that's rebuilding. He's talking to a quarterback he played with in college. So I don't think it's as much as I'm coming out here being disgruntled as it is, hey, you guys got new owners, you got new quarterback, you got all this money because we still got $60 million in cap after getting Bobby Wagner, Austin Eckler, all these guys. I think it's him like, hey, they don't want me, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Because in reality, San Francisco, he's too valuable to leave. I get that we have all these other pieces, CMC, Debo. I get that, Kittle.
George Kittle,
If you look at those three guys, especially last year, a lot of them had significant injury time. Debo, the whole issue with Debo is that he can't stay healthy. So while he might be a great asset, great piece, the way that he's used is it leads to him being injury prone. So it'd be foolish for them to let go of our guy Brandon Ayuik. I think the issue is I cutting him, to me, that's just a bad business move in my opinion. You have to either get something out of him or you're like, look, like you said, he's still on contract. So you got to play. And him being at that point just because he was talking to the guy, everybody, and this for me as a Washington fan, everybody in the media that's talked about Brandon Ayuik has linked him to Washington because of Jaden Daniels.
Sure.
Before we even got Jaden Daniels, there was talk about Ayuik coming to Washington because we potentially were going to pair that up. So I think was more of, this is my buddy, and I'm just saying, they don't want me. And I know this is going to get back to them because he's worth every penny.
Hey, I hope it works for him. Look, LeBron, JJ Redick, look where JJ Redick got hired. I think it worked for him. Why not, Brandon? Talk it up, maybe. Go back out there and talk to Jaden some more. Maybe Washington will trade for you or whatever. But that's the thing. Like you said, Tita just hit on something, though. A team that desperately needs a number one receiver might bite at that. Right. But again, most teams I didn't think would either. But Tita's like, I had a heartbeat. Well, yeah, poor Denver could use a number one receiver there, right? No, but I'm saying, that's the thing.
Our owners have the financial wherewithal to give him the guaranteed money he wants. You just structure it in such a way that it's back-ended and they can afford it. It's the Waltons.
Tita's thought about this. That's all I'm saying is that Tita has thought about this very seriously. You can tell, right?
They do. But you also got to think, what is it going to cost? And when I say what is it going to cost, I don't just mean financially. I mean
locker room-wise.
Not even just locker room, but this guy you talked about, next year is his 5th year. So you pay him now, he's going to get a little bit something after that, depending on how he gets down. And then on top of that, it has to mesh. That's why I think he talked to Jaden Daniels and not the press. You know what I mean? And that's why I think it's been leaked as rumors, because if it gets out this way, there's a connection to that. And you got Adam Peters, who was their GM for all those years, and now who's our GM. There's San Francisco, Washington connections, and I think it's more towards that. With that being said, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either. If San Francisco let him go, they're cutting their nose to spite their face. Because again, they're, like you said, they're making another Super Bowl run. They have the pieces there to make it work.
Oh, yeah,
it's so you don't want to mess with that chemistry in any way. Mm-hmm. But if he really was going to toe the line, he wouldn't have talked about it at all.
Good point. No, you know what? And that's a fair point.
I think he's playing his hand. I think he knows.
He's playing his hand, and I think he went through this with his management and PR people and said, "Look, what can we do here? How can I get San Francisco to move? How do we move the dial?" Because he doesn't want to hold out. I don't think any of them want him to. And like I said, I don't think he's leaving San Francisco. I just think, for once in their life, a team needs to look at this as a business decision, but more of a business decision, which is open the frickin' coffers and give him what he wants. Okay.
Well, that's interesting that you said that, Tina, because the difference was $4 million. You said he wants 30 and they offered him 26. You really couldn't. I'm saying you really couldn't pony up the other 4 and just go, okay, Brandon, here you go.
Yeah, but like what Nathan said earlier, it's about it's the guaranteed money.
Right, it's guaranteed money, but
that's where they're way off on, because he wants Justin Jefferson guaranteed kind of money, like $110 million.
Yeah, no, I get that, but
really like 30 million, it's more going to be higher.
No, but
again,
yeah.
It's the amount of people they have to pay. And that's, I think, the big deal. Because like you said, they've been telling him, we're going to do it after this. We're going to do it after this. You got if in reality, especially after the recent success, you got to put him at least fourth on the totem pole. And that's Debo, CMC, and potentially Brock Purdy now. And I'm not even saying George Kittle, who technically by his years should be higher. So that's fifth now that he's got to get paid. And not to mention Trent Williams. Trent Williams is just as big as any of those guys. So he's got to get paid somewhere down the line. And it's not just let's give it to him now, because again, this thing's going to come back up in the next 2-3 years. Debo's next year. CMC's coming up soon. So then we're going to start having to pay these guys. And it's like, do we put it on this guy or do we try to spread it out? And that's where you might lose him.
But the thing, Brandon, that's the thing too. Like, but for a guy like Brandon who is talking the way that he is, again, he believes in himself, obviously. Okay. So when you start saying to him, well, we got to take care of this guy, and this guy. So what you're saying is I'm not the priority. So I'm down here on your list. So I'm going to try to make some noise and I'm going to try to advocate for myself because you're telling me that I'm not as important to you as these other guys are. Yeah. And I want what I think I deserve. So I'm going to go try and get it, or I'm at least going to go on my friend's podcast and talk some stuff up and see if I can make a little noise for myself, because you're basically telling me right now I have to sit on the side and wait until you take care of everybody else. I guess as a person, if I was in that situation, I might feel the same way he does. Just saying.
And he's also kind of forcing them to make a decision on whether to franchise tag him now or not.
Right.
Because remember, if he gets franchise tagged, he gets the average of the top 5 receivers in the NFL. Okay. So which would put him up near Justin Jefferson numbers. So, I mean, we all know what the issue is in San Francisco. It is priority, and who are you saying is priority? But like what Nick said, it's good. If you get a guy like this who is good at what he does, and maybe he may not gel as well on another team or something, but you keep telling him you need to wait, he's going to say, nope, you know what? I remembered this is a business and I'm going to go somewhere else.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all looking at this from our perspective, having our 9-to-5 jobs that don't make this much money.
We'll never make this much money combined, so it doesn't matter.
The option is really
can't have an injury at work that you lose your lifeline for the rest of your life.
Well, right. So, and in reality, the thing is, do you want to get paid or do you want to be on a Super Bowl caliber team? They've been in the NFC Championship the last 3 years, so it's either you want to get paid or you want to be on a championship team. Because if you want to get paid, you can go to a team that's a rebuilding that's going to pay you. But you might not be on a championship caliber team. You might be on a team that's rebuilding. And then you're looking at it from another perspective where, you might be 4th or 5th down the line, but look at those guys that are above you. These are all MVP candidates. Nate was talking about Trent Williams, who needs to be paid first. I mean, this guy is a literal rock. We talked about left tackle in this game. So there is a reason why he's where he is on the totem pole. And I mean, hey, in this day of individualism, it's like, if you get paid, get your money, get your bag. But at the end of the day, you guys have been in the playoffs and or Super Bowl at least 3 out of the last 4 years. So it's kind of put on him. So San Francisco's like, you can do this. And if you go, we can work it out. We're going to get what we're going to get for you. But at the end of the day, are you going to make that team a Super Bowl contender? Because right now you got 3 or 4 guys that even if 2 of them are out, 2 more can jump in and you're still quality. You're still one of the best of the pack. So
at the end of the number 2 there, he might be a number 1 somewhere else.
Yeah. But the thing is him being a number 2 there. And even think of it this way. You not only have Debo, but you also have CMC that requires a linebacker or a safety. Then you have George Kittle who requires some coverage. So most of the time he's getting single coverage in San Francisco. If he comes elsewhere, he's going to get double coverage, and that's going to be a very, very, very different thing. But look, we're going to move on because we got Nick here, and we definitely need to bring this up. His favorite quarterback is if I'm not mistaken, didn't he say he double booked and he's somewhere else?
Double booked.
No, I didn't know I was supposed to something like this. I don't know how New York media is not just killing this guy. But what are your thoughts about your former favorite quarterback. I say that loosely.
Oh man, Aaron's at it again, isn't he? It's almost, you have to love it because it gives us something to talk about, doesn't it? Like it's always Aaron is never far from the news, and he's always got something going on or whatever. And I don't know. Apparently, he's not in Hawaii with Shailene Woodley anymore, so that's fine. He's just skipping minicamp altogether. Add Aaron to the Serengeti. There you go. Get him, Nate. But no, look. My thing would be, and this is just me again, it's like you went out with an injury 4 minutes into your New York career, okay? You get hurt on the very first series of your very first set of snaps with your new team. You're out the entire year, which means you didn't gel with anybody. I don't care what you think. I don't care how great of a quarterback you think you are. You didn't do anything last year in New York. You have the opportunity to come in this year, right? And I get these are all voluntary right now, right? OTAs and all that are voluntary. Fine. You don't have to be there, but you should be. You're still, everybody, you're the leader of this team, right? You're the guy they brought in. You're Aaron Rodgers. You're the quarterback. This is your franchise. Why are you not there? Why are you not with your guys going, all right, guys, look, I got hurt. Boom, that's done. I'm rehabbing. We're going to get this working. Let's get some reps in. Let me feel how you guys are. Let's get together. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. No, I don't know the excuse, but I double booked something. Are you serious? How many years have you been in the league, Aaron? You know what the NFL schedule is like. You know when these things come up, and you know when these things happen. So I don't want to hear you double booked. Or you got a hangnail and had to go to your guru and wherever and smoke a bunch of weed and get it fixed, or whatever other excuse you're going to come up with as to why you weren't at minicamp, but you should have been there. And I don't care what anybody says, you're not going to change my mind on that. So we can argue all night if you want. Not that you are, I'm just saying. Anybody else who wants to comment or say, oh, Nick, stop it. No. You are the face of this franchise, bro, whether you like it or not. And you're in one of the biggest media, well, probably the biggest media market in the world on a football team that really has the potential to be really good. And you want to jerk around and not come to minicamp to at least talk to your guys and be like, all right, guys, I'm coming back. We're going to do this. Let's get this going. And you're nowhere to be found. I don't care if it's voluntary. Where are you, the football player, at in terms of that? If you're just in New York for the money, fine, or to prolong your career, hey, great. Then just say that, bro. Like, seriously. Don't come on with these big speeches or give us this crap about, yeah, I'm here to win. And no, I don't want to hear none of that from you because your attitude doesn't show that. Again, I could be here all day, so I'm not going to do that, okay? We've had this discussion many times. Aaron has done this before. We already know what the deal is with him, it seems like, and fine. Me, again, great quarterback. I'll never deny that. Still 1-4 in NFC Championship games. Sorry, I like to throw that stat out there whenever I can. I know it's not funny to some people, but it's funny to me.
Yeah.
And here you go, Aaron. No, I know what I'm saying. Like, it's a team game. Sure, it's a team game, but the quarterback gets all the glory.
He would say, what was that one win?
Yeah, I know it was Chicago. I know who it was. I know when it was, Mr. Spencer. Don't start. Because I got something for you later, son. Don't worry about that. But I'm just saying, I'm tired of it. I really am. I don't want to hear about Aaron Rodgers. I don't care about Aaron Rodgers. And I was very hurt that he went to New York because I like a lot of the Jets players. There's some good young kids on that team. And I just think he's going to go in there and find a way to screw it up and then blame it on them. So I don't really care what Aaron Rodgers does. But Jets, he's yours. Have at it. See what your season looks like this year. Have fun.
Yeah, because if they don't win, they're screwed after this year.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
They were built to win, to go to the Super Bowl in like less than 2 years.
Yeah.
They brought in all those guys. They brought him in, everything. And essentially what he said to his old buddy, Mr. Hackett, which according to him is a great coach, and he doesn't understand why everybody says everything that he says about him, is he essentially said to his coach, I don't care.
Exactly. Like
I don't
tell
care.
me you don't care without saying you don't care, right?
Yeah.
Now I'll play devil's advocate because that's honestly, I think the reason why he's not there. because there's only one person that gets Hackett's offense, and that's him, and he can do it in his sleep.
He knows he's indispensable.
I think that's why. But no, not even that. I think more than just the indispensable. I think it's because he knows Hackett. I think him and Hackett are chopping it up. So he's like, you tell them what they need to know, and I'll be here when you need me.
He's not.
And I hope he goes out week 1 again, and that'll show them all. Thank you.
Yeah, he knows that there's going to be no repercussions that are going to happen because of this. More than likely, he was told he didn't have to show up. He was
probably,
but it is voluntary. It is voluntary. But even more than the repercussions, I don't even think it's a repercussions thing. I just think it's the fact that you said it. There's only one person that knows Hackett's offense, and that's Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not gonna. I hate to say this, but if you've been in the league for X amount of years, we know how great he is. It's like, why do I have to come on a voluntary thing so that I could do an offense that I'm the only one who gets? That and no, I'm not defending him. No.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on that. And if I was Robert, I would be like, look, you're the only one that can really help translate this from his brain to your guys. Right. We need you here as much because
like
you're out for the entire year. What was he doing
on the sidelines last year?
Well,
I don't know. I didn't watch Jets games. What was he doing? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
He was getting everybody acclimated to the system. He was telling everybody what it is, what to look for. And he can do that on the sidelines where the pressure is off of him. He knew that he didn't have to worry about Zach Wilson. So he's sitting here telling the guys, all right, this is what's going to happen. This is what you look for. The voluntary part is big for me. I really don't think that is a big deal. I think for me, if we all know one thing is that he's brittle. Okay. And I think they have everything invested in him, they're not going to try to put him out there if they don't need to put him out there. Because obviously
it's an OTA. Come on.
But that's the thing. It's voluntary. So that doesn't really matter.
I got that. I mean, I get that part of it, Sean, but I'm just saying, from a leader perspective, yes, I know you know. Right, I know you know Hackett's offense, and I get that it's tailored around you. That's no reason they brought your dumb ass here. And that's my point. Like Tina said, maybe he did help last year by being on the sidelines and telling guys this, and this, but you weren't in there doing it. You had Zach Wilson, who you knew, like you said, he wasn't going to be around. That guy was just filling your spot because you got hurt. There was no reason they didn't care about Zach Wilson anymore. That's why they brought you in. But that's my point. So I'm just saying, as a leader on this team, as the guy that everybody's going to look to if they win, he's going to get the credit. If they lose, he's going to get the blame. That's the quarterback position. So, again, I get it if you don't care. You're like, it's voluntary, okay, whatever. Yeah, I know Hackett. All of that I get. I don't dispute any of that. My point is for yourself. As the guy who's supposed to be the leader of this team, why are you not at least showing your guys that, hey, I'm here with you. I want to help you. If anybody has questions, I'm here. You don't understand something, I can explain it to you. You know, I know this, I know that. That's all I'm saying. I get it, it's voluntary. Doesn't have to be there, but you should be there is my point. That's all. Should be there.
But okay, again, I think the only thing that we're disagreeing on is that this is something new.
No, it's not. I know that.
That's what I'm saying. This is who he is. Well,
I'm just saying different.
That's why I'm saying. Like, this is who he is. Yes, he should be there, but he's also the same guy that didn't go in Green Bay. He's also the same guy that sat out before. This guy's Brett Favre 2.0.
And that's why he's 1-4 in championship games. No.
How many has he been to, Nick?
5?
I don't know.
How many?
He's been to 5. He's 5. He's been to 5.
For getting across
all of our teams combined have not been to that many.
And you know what? And like I said, good quarterback, but
has he won?
Huh? No,
I'm
talking about 5.
Uno.
Right, which is
the one that he went to. The one where he won the NFC Championship game and actually went to. He won that one. Right. He's got one.
I said championship games.
I know. No, I know. He's 1-4. We know this already. Yeah, well, I'm saying, she said how many Super Bowls did he win? The one that he went to. He won the one. I'll give him that. He won the one he went to. There you go.
I know. And I was saying how many championship games compared to all of our teams in his tenure. Who has more championship games than they've been?
No, and that's fine. But again, now you're talking accomplishments. So is that what we have to look at and go, okay, we'll give you a pass because you've been to 5 championship games, Aaron?
Yes.
Come on.
That is literally what I'm saying. Because look.
So that is what you're saying. Okay, fair enough.
But stud players get that, though.
I get that. But my point would be, again, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to last year.
It's not right. You're saying he should be there.
I'm just saying, like, you played 3 plays and then got hurt in an entire season. You played none last year with these guys. None. You played 3 plays and you were out.
Yeah.
That's all. Like, come on, man. At least show. I don't get. Whatever.
I don't even just saying. I
don't. I'm not trying to argue the same point over and over. I'm just, but like, to me, that's why you brought it up again. Yes, he should have been there in my opinion. Because
I will go on all day about this because it's like, for me, it's like I've been watching Washington training camp and all that stuff. And
yeah, I'm sure you have, right?
Very much. But there's not going to be very much different that he would do. I mean, you're throwing a couple extra routes, except for, like you're saying, getting close to your guys, getting talk. But that's assuming that he hasn't been doing that before. So that's why, for me, it's kind of like, if he's on my team, I don't care. But
it's about showing up, though, for your guys, man. That's what I think it is, honestly. Like, as much as people are again, turn it real quick on Chicago, right? Everybody, Caleb Williams, the whole thing, we know all the hype, blah, 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 blah. And again, I knew he was going to – I'm not comparing that because obviously he was going to be at OTAs. He's a rookie. You come to that shit. I'm just part of my language, but you do, okay? But my point is everybody's talking to Caleb. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Nick. Go ahead. Go
ahead.
You're fine. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that Caleb himself is feeling a lot of that, and it's like, no, I need to show up for my guys. I need to be here. I need to make sure that I'm talking to everyone. Like, he's been around Chicago everywhere, trying to ease everybody's mind and trying to be the guy that everybody wants him to be, which I do appreciate that. And that's kind of my point. New York has put everything into this, right? Hackett's there. They brought Rodgers in. Zach Wilson's out. This is the guy there. He is your guy. You're betting all your chips on Aaron Rodgers, just like we're betting everything on Caleb Williams with the team we put around him. You have to show up for your guys is all I'm saying. You have to be there. My opinion, of course, only, but you got to be there, man. You got to let those guys know that you're the guy that they're going to come to. That's it. That's just the way I feel. And I think every quarterback should be that way. But again, they are not, and Aaron is one of them. So.
Well, I also think that the press in this case, the New York press, they were the ones that were pushing him, like, oh, he's changed. He's not the same as he was, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, okay,
they got
whatever.
egg on their face now, and their butt hurts. And they want to talk about it's just... Again, it's clicks I don't and likes.
At all. Like I just don't. I get what you guys are saying about it. I get it. In a perfect world, our star, our leader would have to be there and blah blah blah. But I think there's a reason why it's OTAs and it's voluntary and all that stuff. So I get it. And we're not going to see eye to eye because in the same thing, in the same way, it's because I say the same thing about Jaden Daniels, Nick. I'm glad he's in Washington. I'm glad he's talking to everybody. But he has to do that. He doesn't have any years in his book, so everything he has to be above and beyond. I don't like that Aaron is doing it the way he's doing it, but it's one of those situations where it's like
this is where I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna a little bit of disagree with you guys, okay? Because I don't think the quarterback needs to be the number one leader of the team. Like,
I mean, that's the argument.
Fans got all over. We know, and his name is Cutler. Got all over Cutler.
Sure.
Because he didn't act like the quarterback.
He didn't give a crap. He didn't care.
Yeah, but he never did. He never wanted to be a leader. But Bears fans and the press wanted him to be that way.
Is Cutler on that level?
No. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And that's part of the problem is that Aaron Rodgers is
on
that Brady
is that
Breeze level.
It's and I'm not
1-4 in championship games.
Yeah.
Name the last quarterback that you've had that's had 2 championship game appearances.
Oh, I'm not trying to play that game. You want to play that game? We can go all day. Well, I'm not trying. I'm just simply saying. I know people, and everybody knows that's my thing. I do that all the time just to be a kind of a dick about it. But 1-4 championship games. I'm just saying, 1-4. Got your Super Bowl. I'm happy for you. Got your Super Bowl. 1-4 in the rest of them, or 0-4 in the rest of them.
But I'm just saying, and I'm going to kind of tie in what I said before. I don't think the quarterback is the one that has to be there all the time and has to be the number one person and telling everybody blah 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 blah. The difference I have is with Aaron Rodgers is, again, like what I said, he knows this system. He knows Hackett's system. He's the only one that can translate this to these kids. He needs to be there for the rest of his team.
I would
I don't
agree if
care.
this was last year. Because last year was the first year he was working with them. He's had a full year to work with them, and now going into
you call that work?
Well, I mean, was he not at practice?
He wasn't playing though. But yeah, he could have been there jawing at people and saying, "Oh, do this."
Was he not in the meeting room?
Well, what is he going to be doing on the sidelines saying, "Oh, you saw this? Now this is what I would do with you," and then he's counteracting everything that Hackett's trying to get these kids to do during the game. So I don't know how much of that happened.
I don't think he's counteracting.
You're sitting in the game, and you got Wilson who's sitting there playing, and what he's doing on the sideline is sitting there telling the kids that are sitting on the sidelines, saying, "Oh, by the way, just wait till next year, and this is exactly how we're going to do this."
Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. I mean, he could have been. Who knows?
That's what it sounds like you're trying to say.
No. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying him being on the sidelines, he is a second coach. He's a second Hackett. So
he's never coached anyone in his life.
Oh my God.
He has also come out and said, like Brady, he is not a coach.
So
he does not coach people.
There's you guys who clearly are Chicago natives who clearly don't like the guy. But every player
I've admitted his accomplishments.
Every player that he's played with completely disagrees with you. So that's all I'm saying. I know what you're saying from a 1-4. I don't like the guy. He should be there. I get that. But what I'm saying is, from the people that seem to have played with him and everybody that's talked to him and everybody that's going, they've said he's one of the best teammates. So,
I don't play with him.
And there's a lot of them that have left and that have said, yeah, he's a great guy on the field. Off the field, no. So,
right.
I mean, here's the thing.
So, right. I get it, because Tom Brady's probably not a nice guy off the field either.
If he's winning off the field, clearly that's the only thing that matters. I mean, we would love to have a perfect in-house situation, but we've also seen people that were complete cancers and T.O. almost get an MVP in a Super Bowl because he played on one leg and did what he did. So I'm saying, look, I get it. I agree that I don't want him in my house because he's going to tear it down from the roots. I think he's going to divide it. He's too much. But I do think all of the years and how much everybody loves the guy and the 5 NFC championships and 1 Super Bowl has garnered him a little bit of respect where he's like, I don't have to be here.
And that's fine. Again, if that's the way the league wants to treat him, I'm saying, no, I get it. If that's the way the league wants to treat him, that's fine. Put him in the upper echelon of all that. But the fact is, your team is going to come into training camp this year when it's official training camp, and they have to play with you. And I just want to see how they react to all that. I want to, he's probably not going to play in the preseason, right? Because you don't want him to get hurt. He's coming off of the injury. So you're not really going to see him in the preseason. Yeah. So again, week 1, when the Jets are, when the Jets are getting ready to play, I want to see how the offense looks with Aaron in there. I mean, legit in there, not playing 3 plays and getting hurt and then missing the entire season. Like, let's see what you got, Aaron. Let's see again. This is your offense. That's why you were brought here. This is tailor-made to you, as everybody has said. So then you should succeed, right? You have the weapons to succeed. I think we all agree on that with the Jets and their offense. It's a pretty decent offense, and the line is better. You should be able to do something.
Not that much better, but better.
Better than okay. But again,
better than us. We'll say that. Better
again, when you have a great quarterback, right? You can overcome those kinds of things, right, guys? Absolutely. If Justin Fields can overcome the line he had to be the rushing leader 2 years ago, then certainly Aaron Rodgers can somehow miraculously come up with some great plays to get past the line that he has with the weapons he has. But I'm just saying, you wanted big generalizations. Let's make some generalizations, Sean. His line is better than he should be able to do something, right? Come on. Let's go all the way off the deep end, sir. Let's just jump in the deep end of the pool and give it all.
But this is part of the thing, and Tina touched on it. She said players, after they left, said that he wasn't, off the field, he wasn't the best. He demands a lot of attention, and he demands a lot of money.
He's a prima donna.
Well,
He's
absolutely.
a prima donna.
He earned, but in reality, and if we're looking at all quarterbacks in the league right now, he's earned that.
They are.
And okay, fine. Again, I won't argue that point. I get it. I get that he's considered a top-tier quarterback.
So there's like a discussion argument here, and then there's one here, because everything you and I are saying is they're agreeing to a point. Okay,
right.
And it's not anything that I'm trying to debate. I'm not saying, I'm not saying, I have no problem with him not being there in a sense. I think if he's on my team, yes, I want him there. I'm saying him not being at voluntary
Jets camp. Yeah,
Jets camp is it's just not a big deal because A,
I'm
this
not.
is who he is, but B, I'm gonna make an assumption, and my dad said, whenever you make an assumption, make an ass out of you and me. So shout out to you, Pops. So I'm gonna make an assumption and say that
Mr. Spencer's a smart man.
Yeah, but he is talking to the players, to the team, getting acclimated with them, passing, doing little stuff off the field that we don't know about. And
Or he isn't.
Well, and the reason this is such a big news is because Aaron Rodgers not doing it. You know what I mean?
But it's big enough for us to talk about, so let's be honest about that. You wouldn't have brought it up as a topic.
I wanted you to come on the show, so I knew
No,
I had to come to charge.
No, but I'm just saying, though, it's just right. And that's the thing, too. We all know, again, and I will say this one last time. This will be the last time I say this. I understand that Aaron Rodgers is considered an upper echelon quarterback in this league. And given the quarterbacks currently in the league, I get it. I do understand. I've seen the man's body of work. Trust me, he plays my team twice a year, or at least did up until 2 years ago. I get it. I've seen it. I've seen the plays. I've seen the magic. I've seen the comebacks. I've seen all that. I've seen Aaron Rodgers play. I get it. He's a great quarterback. But that only to me, and that's just to me again, there's been plenty of great quarterbacks throughout the NFL history. I like people who can show themselves to be a little bit more than that. I know you can play football, but you were given a responsibility. I mean, they put an entire team on your back last year. Let's be honest. The Jets put everything they had into Aaron Rodgers by even getting his damn offensive coordinator and his offense to come there so that Aaron would come there. Like, they did everything they could to make Aaron Rodgers the man there. And so far, they've gotten jack on their return. I know it's only been a year, but I'm just saying they've gotten really nothing on that return. He gets hurt the first series. So I'm just saying, as me, if I'm I'm a player, and I'm like, man, I'm the guy here. I get it. He's a prima donna. He's all that. But I'm the guy here. This is my team. I'm going to show them it's my team. I missed an entire year with these people. It's my time to step up and lead this team and show them what I got and who I am. Like I said, I'm Aaron Rodgers. King Kong ain't got crap on me. That's how he should be, because this is your team. This is your town now, Aaron. Go take it. And all I'm saying is he isn't. So I want to see when it comes time to start playing when week one, again, whoever the Jets play, I forget who they play week one, but I'm going to sit back and watch. I'm going to try to find that game because I want to see how this looks. Because, again, it's all you, baby. It's all you. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
I know. You probably don't agree, but that's fine.
I don't know. He's got taken to town. I don't know. All right. Whatever. We're gonna keep going.
What? It's Daniel Jones in the Giants?
Got off the rails.
Nobody's talking. I know.
No, what I'm saying. What I'm saying is.
Well, we've been off the rails. See, and I told you, I knew this was gonna happen.
No,
because I know me.
Did you hear?
No, I know me.
No, what are you even saying about what I said? I didn't know. I was saying, how do you know that Aaron Rodgers hasn't taken the town? If he was in Chicago, you would want him there every single practice, everything. But at the same time, would you mind if he didn't show up if you knew that he was still going to be there game one? That's where I'm like,
So, but see, and that's where, not to be funny, and again, we are different people, so this is where you and I differ. I still want him there. Yes, absolutely. You're my face of my franchise, bro. You're my guy. I want you there. I don't care if you're going to show up week one. Yeah, I don't care if you're going to show up week one. You better. I mean, damn, dude.
I think this is it's a bigger story. I think it's a bigger story if he's not showing up at training camp.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't do that, then I really will.
It's not a big.
I might write Aaron Rodgers sucks on a locker or something if he doesn't do that.
Well,
but I'm
just saying. If he doesn't show up at training camp, then that's fine because it is mandatory.
Yeah, that's mandatory, right? That's
That's what I think. That's why I think it's an issue.
I get both sides of this, but the thing that I look at it as is this was also an option for him to meet the new draftees and meet the new people in the team. Now, yes, it's OTAs. It's voluntary. Now, the NFL is also talking about changing a lot of this for in the upcoming year, dropping 2 of the games and making these OTAs and everything mandatory and stretching it out over a longer period of time. I get the point with a lot of players are like, I don't get paid to go to OTAs. My answer to that is You get paid $30 million to play for the team. You can take a week out of your damn schedule and
Right,
show up for
seriously.
OTA.
I know
Okay,
Sean.
so
Sean
if
is gonna.
he's on the sidelines, if he shows up and he's on the sidelines, would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Is he
I
there?
don't
Is he
care.
there?
I
Is he
would
there?
not care.
Is he
So
there?
If he's there.
technically, somebody could be. He can have his agent there FaceTiming him. and
Oh
he
no!
would be
Come on,
there.
bro! Don't make excuses for him, bro.
That
Come
doesn't work.
on,
That doesn't work.
come on,
If he
bro.
was physically
What
at
was
OTAs and did
that?
nothing,
What difference if he's physically there? If he's physically there at a voluntary camp, what difference does that make?
about
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at the FaceTime thing. That's hilarious. Like his agent's there and he's on FaceTime on a golf course somewhere going, hold on. I got to tee off on
Hold
16
on.
right now. It's all right. I can't talk right now.
We can't act like that stuff doesn't happen. Like I
I'm
think we're
sure it
vilifying
does.
this guy to the nth degree, and we're acting like Tom Brady and these other guys didn't do that.
Well, let's vilify somebody else. Give me some information. We'll talk about them too. I don't care.
Yeah, we obviously talk about them, but
yes. Does this happen with all the teams? Yes, it does. You have the stars, they get to a certain level where they're like, I don't need to come there. You're not paying me. I'm not going to do this. I might get injured, et cetera, et cetera. And my answer to all of that is this is about the team. They're asking you to show up for a week or whatever to talk to it's the old school versus new school, business versus team. It's the same. It's reoccurring every year. It happens every year.
If you want him to be there, just put it mandatory. They do that for training camp.
They can't make it mandatory. That's the thing.
So then
it's against the NFL.
Matter.
Yeah, I know. It really shouldn't matter. But
right, we get that, but
to two people, the press, and I'm sorry, Nick, the old men on the lawn screaming, "Get off my lawn," because the NFL has changed. Those are the people that matter. And what ends up happening? Those two end up whipping everybody else in the fan base to go around it. And yes, I admit I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan, but that whipping everybody around and Aaron Rodgers showing he's a prima donna again gets more press and everybody talks about it.
Look, at the end of the day, we've all built Aaron Rodgers into what he is. We've all built all these great quarterbacks into who they are and all these great players into what they are. That's why I don't get bent out of shape about, they're making $30 million, because we as fans and people in this ownership and front office, all that stuff have built up these prices to where they're getting money, and they're getting, because they deserve money in our opinion, because we want to watch them. They're just like these musicians that go and do shows and get, sometimes they get the money that they deserve. And it's just like, are they more important? Are they this? Look, if he shows up, if he doesn't show up to voluntary, I'm not gonna flip my lid on. I agree. He needs to be there talking to his guys, getting them acclimated with the system and everything like that. And if this is last year, then I'm saying, dude, what the hell is your problem? But he's had a full year with them, and this is his second off season with them. So I have to believe, and I could be wrong, but I have to believe that he has gone in, had these conversations, has been thrown with these guys, has been talking to these guys, getting everything going. We heard all that news, even when he wasn't playing last year, that he was still getting back, and could Aaron Rodgers play before the end of this year? So he's been practicing. He's been out there with them. So it's just hard for me to believe that he has not been doing up to this point, but I get it. You want the person to be in-house. You want them to be present live with you. And to that and I'm not opposed to that. I love that old school mentality. I love that. That's me. Be there for your squad. I just think that you got voluntary minicamp or voluntary OTAs. If he's not there at a voluntary thing, I would love him to be there. But that doesn't sway me if I'm his teammate. That doesn't sway how I look at him because he's not in a voluntary OTA. If he comes on the field and dominates, which at the end of the day, like you said, Nick, that's the end. That's it. If he dominates on the field, all of this nonsense that we're talking about is out the window. And it's just
of course. Winning cures everything, right?
Right. The minute he falls down or gets hurt or whatever, then here we go. But even in that sense, can we really say, he got hurt because he wasn't at OTAs?
I'll never say that.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So that's where I'm saying.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying that either, though. Yeah, I'm not.
But where's the value of this? Where is if he's not there, outside of him not talking to his guys? Okay. Actually, we're gonna wrap it up there. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
At the end of the day, hey, look. At the end of the day,
same argument every time you have somebody who doesn't show up at OTAs or holds out in the camp. It's always the same thing. And you're right, Sean. I mean, it depends a lot of times on whether the fan base likes you or doesn't like you. And here's the thing. We do hold these people up to a higher standard. But there's also a very large percentage of the population that is like, our tickets pay an extremely high salary for you. So if you don't show up for things and that affects the product in the end, I have a right to say something about that. It may not affect anything whatsoever in terms of how the team is run or what the owners want or anything like that.
Well, we know that. We don't count, but we're just fans, right? We're just fans.
Yeah.
It counts to us, but not anybody else really. So yes.
Right. It's also a way for the people in the New York press and the fans who did not want him to come. It's another thing for them to kind of stick on and be like, look, he's not being a team player again. So, I mean, so we'll see. I mean, anything I've ever said here, I am not taking away from that man's talent, because as Sean and I have talked about with Brady, is I say some of the things I say because he is good. He annoys me when they're good. Mm-hmm. So I saw Brady for a number of years. Nick has seen him for a number of years. You saw it with Troy Aikman for a number of years. So we pick up on those things. So
Mr. Troy Aikman, huh? Yeah, that guy too.
Hall of Famer. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Well, there it is. Yeah. We'll always go back and forth on that. And hey, I mean, I'm sure we'll have that conversation a little bit later this season. For sure. When Aaron Rodgers balls out and says voluntary. No.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs?
Did he play Chicago this year?
No, I don't believe we played the Jets. Didn't we play the Jets last year? What the hell? Who we played?
Yeah,
we don't have the Jets. We played the Jets last year, yeah. Because I was looking forward to seeing the Aaron Rodgers game, and guess what? I didn't. Well, he didn't play.
We play the Jets.
Well, that you know what, Tina? That day, wherever you're watching the game, you call me, and I will come and watch the game with you. Wherever Denver, like if you're going to almost home, I will go there with you, so I can watch Aaron Rodgers play Denver with you.
Don't let him lose. Don't let him win. That's all I'm saying.
That's where I will be.
Right. That's what I said. I will find you on that day if you're around, and we'll watch that game together because that'll be fun.
If he wins,
it'll be
good. All right,
Sean's mad because he's got to play us again. That's why.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
I'll see what you guys did this offseason. You're still rebuilding like us. And if any of the rumors are true about your quarterback during voluntary OTAs, he's been struggling. So bring on Mr. Take my fingernails, F Washington or something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading out of here.
We know how I felt about all that.
Yeah. We're heading out of here for my guy, Mr. Nicholas Rosario and Tina Winter. We appreciate you guys being here with us, and we will be back with you next time. Stay tuned for all the good stuff we have in the Let's Talk Football community. Peace.
Hello, ladies and gents. It's Anton, your local awesome artist. Just here to let you know it's summertime. Projects need to get done. Are you being lazy on them? So if you got indoor projects, outdoor projects, like this pergola here, just got painted. Call me, I'll have your job done. See you later.
Washington had no hesitation in this offseason. They hired Bob Myers, special